Welcome to our next part of our lecture on tissues. We're going to be looking at 6 of the 9 different classes and types of epithelial tissue. And epithelial tissue has a first name and a last name. So my first name is John, and my last name is Polos. So I have a first name and a last name. Well, epithelial tissue has a first name and a last name too. It is first defined by the number of layers of the tissue. So it could be simple. And then its cell shape, like cuboidal. So that would be its name. Simple, first name. Cuboidal is its last name. Or stratified, cuboidal. So let's look at that. So epithelial tissue is first looked at by the number of layers. It could have one layer of cells, or it could have multiple layers. So right here we have 3 flattish cells, we have 3 cube-shaped cells, we have 3 rectangular cells, but there's only one layer. So this would be called simple. Whereas over here, I have 3 layers. No, I did not start drawing cubes, not at all. Here, I have 2 layers of cube-shaped cells. Here, I have 2 layers of column-shaped cells. Now, anatomists are lazy. They're like, oh, we have one good category, simple. If it's more than one layer, let's just call it stratified and go out for beers. That will be a trend in our class, anatomists going out for beers, by the way. So more than one layer is called stratified. So all 3 of these tissues, their first name would be simple. And all 3 of these, their first name would be stratified. Now, these cells look squished, and they're actually circular, so they're called squamous. And I like lying to my students and saying squamous is squished because of SQU. In reality, it means round. So this name would be simple squamous. Now this one, the top layer is the squamous cells. They're the squished cells, so it would be stratified squamous, even though these are definitely cuboidal cells. We'll see in both the esophagus and in the skin, they're made up of stratified squamosal epithelial. However, it's only the top layer that's flat. So his name, or her name, is stratified squamous. Now, these 2 are cube-shaped, so they are called cuboidal. So cuboidal is cube-shaped cells. So this top one would be simple cuboidal. Good save them. And this one would be stratified cuboidal. Now the column-shaped one, the rectangular one is column-shaped, so it would be columnar. So this simple columnar, and this is stratified columnar. Now, we're actually not going to look at these 2. These 2 are super rare. This one is in the areola of the mammillary region. This one's in some of the larger salivary gland ducts. So it's rare, we won't look at it, but we're going to look at the other ones and then 2 special epithelial tissues. So epithelial tissue is defined by first the number of layers, the first name, then the shape of its cell, its last name. And this is really useful for the lab exam. So first, how to classify. This video, if you open the PowerPoint, is a silly video on how to classify. You can watch it if you want. So the first thing we look at is the number of layers. 1 layer, more than 1 layer. Simple has 1 layer. Stratified has more than 1 layer. Again, they really wanted to go out to drink. Then we look at shape. We have squished cells, which are squamous. We have cube-shaped cells, which are cuboidal. And then column-shaped cells, which are columnar. Now, the squished ones are really round. That's what squamosal means. But squamosal epithelial consists of flattened cells. Cuboidal epithelial consists of cube-shaped cells. Then columnar cells, epithelial, consists of column-like cells. Now, I'm going to make your lives easy. We have simple columnar, and then pseudostratified columnar. This is not a true stratified tissue. So there is no such thing as stratified columnar. Yes, I know 2 slides ago I said it's in the areolar region of the mammillary region. So, simple squamosal epithelial. This is found in your alveoli. Now, in your alveoli, you have this very, 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 very thin membrane. So we have these squished cells right here, simple squamosal, and they actually share a basement membrane with each other. Their job is to be super thin, so respiratory gases can go from the alveolar sacs into the blood, or from the blood into the alveolar sacs. And that's what's going on with COVID-19, is these structures are becoming inflamed. And instead of nice squished cells, the cells are filling up with fluid. They're getting larger, and that slows down the rate of diffusion of oxygen. So in the COVID-19 patients that are being hospitalized with respiratory distress, their blood oxygen saturation is like 20 milligram, 20 ATM, 20%, 20 millimeters of mercury. 20 millimeters of mercury is their oxygen saturation. That's very, very low. That's active tissue. You're running a sprint. So they're having trouble with oxygen going through. So here we have some simple squamosal epithelial in a blood vessel. So it's where you need a very thin, flat row of cells because you have diffusion of gases across the membrane. Formed by membranes that control the diffusion, mainly respiratory alveoli and blood capillaries. Cuboidal epithelial is what we looked at last class in lab. We have these cube-shaped cells. Right there, right there. This is the lumen of this cube tube. Now, this looks stratified because I have one layer of cells here. That is a big cube. And another layer right there. So they're sharing a basement membrane. So the basement membrane would be in here. So here's our basement membrane right here. So we have one lumen there, one lumen right here. Now they often have microvilli. So here is a cell. Microvilli are extensions of the cell membrane and the cytoplasm that increase the area for absorption of nutrients. So you have them in the kidneys. So you have all these microvilli that are increasing the absorption. Ooh, you can actually see them there in the kidneys. So a single row of cube-shaped cells, often with microvilli, which extend the surface area of the cell. Simple columnar epithelial has column-shaped cells. So it has these nice column-shaped cells. I want to point out the nucleuses on them, though. The nucleuses are nice and lined up, especially in these Photoshop videos or pictures where you only see one row. So all of those nuclei are round up, and usually they're towards the bottom or the middle, never towards the top. So the nucleuses all line up. Sometimes they have these goblet cells that produce mucus. I love goblet cells, by the way. And you have them where you need absorption or secretion. And they line tubes like your intestines. And sometimes they have enzymes on the surface. So they could absorb nutrients in the intestines. They could be ciliated in the uterine tubes. Remember, cilia are going to be projections that move things, where the microvilli in the intestines increase the surface area. Then we have this thing. Its name, pseudostratified columnar epithelial. I have to catch my breath after saying that. Now, look at the nucleuses. I have some nucleuses down here, some nucleuses up here, some nucleuses in the middle. The nucleuses are all over the place. Now, this is actually a simple epithelium. There's really only a single layer, but how the slides are made, it looks like there's multiple layers. And then we just have some short cells. That's just a short cell right there, being pushed down. So you could have cells like this, then another cell like that, another cell like that. So you have, it looks like it's multiple layers. This cell is actually hiding behind that cell. So it looks like there's multiple layers, but in reality, it's one layer. It's just really, really random. So it often looks double layered, but all cells reach the basement membrane. Not all cells reach the apex. Sometimes it has cilia, such as in your trachea. So the cilia here in your trachea, their job is to take the mucus made by the goblet cells and wash bad stuff out of your trachea, where it usually goes into your esophagus and gets destroyed in the stomach. Sometimes it has microvilli as well. Let's talk about smoking now. And I'm not preaching about anti-smoking or anything. We're just going to look at what happens with histology, because histology is important. Change in histology changes function. So this is our alveoli. Remember I said it is supposed to be these flat cells here. And unfortunately, this is 270, this is 1600, so it's more blown up. But we could see here, that is not a flat cell. Those are cube-shaped cells. What did I say the problem with changing from a flat cell to a cube-shaped cell? It is a lot harder for oxygen to diffuse into the blood vessel. So that's what smoking does to your lungs, is it changes the epithelial, it becomes more cuboid. So it thickens, decreases the oxygen going across, and you have less blood oxygen. Then we have our trachea. We have our trachea. This is our pseudostratified epithelial, and we have multiple layers of cells. And it's completely random. Here are the cilia. What do the cilia do? That's right, catch mucus, transport it out. I've lost the cilia there. And I actually don't really have pseudostratified cells anymore. I was looking for the study that said it gets changed to stratified squamosal or simple columnar. I forgot which one it was, and I couldn't find which tissue it changes to, but that is definitely not pseudostratified anymore. You have thickening of cells, the cells are no longer have cilia, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. The lining changes. So that's why histology is important, because we look at pathologies where the tissues have changed their shape and the function has changed. Since I know there is no way I am getting through the stratified tissues in 2 minutes, we'll stop this video here and start our next one with the stratified epithelial. Thank you.